Hey everyone, welcome back to Happy Life, Better Life. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and please share. I usually don't ask people to do that, but I'm asking you to do that. I'm hoping to grow this page to at least 500 members, and we are coming up on 400. So that's my goal for this year to get to 500 members. So if you would like to help me do that, that would be wonderful. I would really appreciate it because I'm going to be honest, I don't usually even share with people that I do this, that I have this page. And if I mention it, I don't really tell people where to go and find it, but I'm going to start changing that because I hope it's becoming beneficial. So today, I want to talk about a topic that is so important. It's so important, ladies. Um, we're living in critical times. Financially, things have become much harder for people. Um, the cost of living has gone up exponentially, and most of us were probably not really prepared for it because it's not like our raises at our jobs went up the same time as everything else. That didn't happen. And it's like, going to the grocery store and spending, let's say, $100 today is not the same as what it was even 2 years ago. It's just not. After things started getting back to normal after COVID, things just kind of went up. And even during COVID, things were going up. So now we find ourselves in these places where financially you could be experiencing some hardship or at least some challenges. You have people that I'm hearing now who are making six figures, and for whatever reason, they're still struggling. And some of it may be because we're living above our means or we're trying to accumulate so many things. That could be part of it. But I want to talk about the real deal today. If we're in our 40s and 50s, we are coming close to retirement. And some of us may not have a retirement of any kind. So, the number one thing is if you don't have a retirement of any kind, you want to start thinking about ways of getting that. Whether you have to switch to a job that offers like a 401k or a 403b, that could be, part of the problem that we might have had jobs where, they weren't taking out anything for savings and things like that. Also, um, you can invest in your own like IRA accounts and things like that. I think usually you have to have like at least $1,000 or something, but I could be wrong. But look into that because this is not professional advice here. This is just woman to woman, heart to heart kind of thing. Because I'm also in my 50s and I worked for the school district for a number of years, and I didn't even realize, you know, I'm just going to be honest, I was very ignorant of this, that I had money that was going into like a, I knew we had retirement, but I wasn't really clear on how it worked. And see, some jobs used to offer retirement, and that was something that you were guaranteed. That was years ago. That's not even the case anymore. I don't know if there are any jobs that actually do that anymore. Hopefully, there are some, but I know that if there are, they are few and far between. Now, most jobs offer like a 401k or 403b, and if you don't know what that is, it kind of is like they're taking money from your paycheck. They might add a certain amount to it, but then they invest to try to help that money to grow. And if you have one, you can take more control of how much is being invested, um, because you might want to invest more, or you might even want to talk to, because they usually will allow you to talk to a financial advisor, and you can talk about being a little bit more aggressive so that that money can grow a little bit more and grow a little bit faster. So that's something that you should be thinking about. But then there are those of us who were married and were married 20 some years, and we're married, we're with our spouse longer than we were without them, and maybe you didn't have any plan at all. When I was married, my husband was someone who was in the military, and he also, worked certain jobs where, they had pensions and different things like that. So if you don't know what you're going to do in the near future, you need to start planning. I want to light this fire under you right now because time is moving quickly, and before you know it, you'll be at the age of retirement. And you may not have your ducks all in a row. And you want to start thinking about that because you might need to make some career changes right now. You might need to make some financial changes and what you're doing, how much you're saving, what you're saving. You might need to start doing that right now because time is of the essence. For me, I didn't really know how much I had going into it. And until I wanted to leave my job, I didn't even look into what was even in there. And so that's something that you may want to do if you already have something. You want to look into that and see how much is in there, see what's going on with that account. To see and think about, you need to start thinking about now, like how old do you want to be when you retire? I once ran into someone in the store and she was sort of, I was with my daughter-in-law and the woman was saying, yeah, I'm 69 years old and I'm still working a full-time job and I can, and it was sort of like she was very happy about it. And hey, that's that's fine. If that's your goal, that's wonderful. And my daughter-in-law was like, wow, that's great. She's, almost 70 and she's still working. And I said, listen, to me, that's nothing to brag about. I'm not trying to be somebody 70 years old or whatever, 69, and I'm still working a full-time job. It's like, when do you live your life? When do you get to enjoy even being here? And this is the thing, in other countries, it's so different than it is here for us in the U.S. Number one, they're not already working the way we're working. Because we work literally to survive. And for them, living their life is most and foremost, and working comes secondary to that. Living their life, enjoying their families, those are the first priorities. And then working comes after that. Now, I'm not talking about underdeveloped countries. I'm talking about countries that are just as developed as we are and have better resources like food. Their food is better. Their quality of life is better. They're not as stressed as we are. And I'm telling you, I'm doing everything in my power to get to that place. I don't want to have to wait until I'm retired to feel like I can actually enjoy my life. And so while we do have to be realistic and we kind of have to plan for it, because who knows, you could maybe get to the point where you have enough saved where you might be able to move to another country and live a life of ease and stretch your dollars, because that's the other thing. The cost of living here in the U.S. is very high. It's very expensive when in comparison to other places. Some people are going to Thailand, some people are going to Panama, Portugal, different places, and the U.S. dollar isn't what it used to be. So your U.S. dollars they used to be, much more compared to other currencies. But now the U.S. dollar is not as great as it used to be. So, these are all things to take into consideration. But the main thing I want to emphasize to you is that you need to start looking at your finances. And some people might say, well, I really don't have any finances to look at, and I don't have a plan, and I don't have money, and I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. Well, then you need to find ways of advancing your life, meaning you might need to take a course of some sort. You might need to take a secretarial course. You might need to try to get into certain jobs. If you do have certain skills, there are certain jobs you can get into that do have a 401k or 403b. And they usually will set you on a certain trajectory towards retirement. But it doesn't have to be that. You can also have some people get side hustles and they start saving with that, or they start investing and things like that. Like, these are things that you might need to learn about and educate yourself about, so that you can be able to plan for what's coming next, you know? So I don't want to cause anyone to panic, but I just wanted to put that little bug in your ear to say, hey, what's your financial future looking like? And have you started planning for that? And it's not like I'm in the greatest place right now, or that I'm where I want to be, but as I'm doing this for myself and as I'm looking at these things for myself, I wanted to definitely share this information with you to say you might need to sit down with a financial planner. You might need to start looking into things. You know, it's just the reality of life. So I love you. You know, I want you to live a happy life and a better life. And this is just me sharing with you. I hope you have a great day today. Take care of yourself. Much love and peace. Bye bye.